Thank you, Joe. Yeah, interesting heats. Round one underway. Heats 4, 5 and 6 is what we're going to take a look at, Ross. And heats 4 and 5, a couple of big buzzer beater moments and some important results for some of those lower seeds who've been struggling to get through these early round heats.
Huge results. First off, I want to say I think that was a really impressive high 7 from Matty Wilkinson. We were wondering how he would look on his forehand. There's so much attention to how he, rips into it on his backhand. He looked solid. Problem was he left the door open for this young Hawaiian right here because he didn't get a solid backup score. And Keanu, with that door open, he walked right in with a nice little snap right there. He looked really sharp. I love when Keanu is more aggressive, Ronnie. We were talking about that for a second. When he steps on the gas, that's when he gets those big scores.
This is Matt Wilkinson on the forehand. This was his best wave. He did take a couple of falls in this heat, and in the end it cost him big time.
Yeah, just not a very tidy heat. Again, kept the door open for Keanu, and that's kind of been the theme a lot today. Some upsets. Whoever hasn't really nipped it in the bud through the beginning, if you leave that door open, it's just begging for a comeback, and that's exactly what happened here with Keanu. Just getting under the curtain there. Kind of a mid-wave claim right here. He wasn't quite finished yet. A couple more wiggles, and he got out and just got that score he needed. Might
be just the spark Keanu needs to get a little fire lit for 2016. His post-heat interview, he sounded pretty reserved, but let go of a couple of laughs, and we're hoping that he can keep that role alive. This was another huge heat with, I think, one of the favourites for the contest, Italo Ferreira, hitting the lineup for the first time. He looked sharper than his rivals from the outset, but in the end, Miguel Pupo got himself into a beautiful barrel and snatched victory.
I think all day long we've been getting some really big scores produced from tube rutting, which is a little bit shocking just because the waves aren't that big yet, and you'd think big maneuvers or laying into kind of a crazier carve with a tail slide at the end would be rewarding with more points, but that's not the case so far today. The judges have been really happy with wave quality. So if you can get yourself on a set wave, tuck into the barrel, you're going to get rewarded with an excellent score.
Here's Miguel. This was pretty much how he shut the heat out. He was taking those late drops under the lip. This was the one where he got barreled to start and added more points down the line. He just got the number he needed to take the victory. But some big indicators from those first couple of heats that we reviewed here, Ross, heats 4 and 5. Even though Matt Wilkinson and Italo didn't get the heat win, some good signs for those top seeds.
Yeah, I agree. I really like it. So I think at the end of the day, you really have to pull up the straps on your work boots and do exactly what this guy did right here. This reminded me of John's heat. I think Adriano kept pace. He kept tabs on his heat. He knew exactly where the scores were dropping for this heat. This was the slowest heat by far we've seen all day today, Ron. But Adriano, you give him credit. He said, you know what? If I get a couple of 5s, I'm going to take this thing out.
There was a big Fijian crew on hand to cheer on the WSL Trials winner here at the Fiji Pros, Avita Gukalau. And he put up a pretty good performance, actually held the lead for a majority of this exchange. But Adriano, in the end, just too cool under pressure, got the score he needed, took the win, and powered directly through to the third round. But Tavita, he's got some positive signs there.
Yeah, he does, and that was really fun to watch. This whole crew from Namotu down there with Rosie cheering him on. You could, for sure, they could hear that all the way in the lineup. But you will say, we talked about at Bells and West Oz, Adriano de Souza had a couple of 13ths there, sparked him up. He found that fire in Rio, getting a third, and it looks like he's continuing with that role.